what's up, everybody? I'm Camarray.
And I'm Zaiah. And this is the Music Report Card, where albums are reviewed based on the vocals, lyrics,
the production, and the sonic vibe. Yeah.
Well, we'll get into this grade later, but today we're actually going to be reviewing The Baby.
The Baby, Blame It On Baby, Deluxe Edition.
But we got to talk about some news first.
Let's get into the news, baby.
So, Joel Santana is now home with his family. He was sentenced to 27 months and actually ended up being released within 17. So, welcome home, Joels.
Yes, congratulations. If you guys don't remember, Joels was sentenced due to being in the Newark International Airport with a handgun and some oxycodone. So I'm glad that he was released after or before his time, and and just able to be with his family. That's, I think, an incredible thing. To see children without their father and all of that, I think that's incredible.
The pictures and videos were done.
Oh yeah, for sure. So congratulations and welcome home, Joel. Let's go ahead and put out some music. Set, baby.
All right, who else we got to talk about?
All right, well, let's talk about Megan Thee Stallion. She was actually recently named Revlon's Global Ambassador. That's a big deal.
It is.
To be a female rapper, and I want to talk a little bit about how the tides are now changing, and I feel like female rappers are becoming more prevalent in today's society. You've got the relevance of Nicki still out there. You've got Cardi, you've got Meg and Saweetie and Mulatto, and still got Trina and Missy is still working. I think that's the City Girls. Love the City Girls. But I just think that it's an amazing time for female rappers, and I think that where we were, Remy Ma, all of them, they all have to, I'm just glad to see that they're all doing what they love, and record labels are not shying away from promoting female artists, female rappers especially.
And some of them are getting along and working together.
Yes, and if you guys don't know, Meg Thee Stallion is actually going to be collaborating with Cardi B on a song called, I think it's called WAP or WAP, I'm not sure, we'll see when the song comes out. Just an incredible time for female rappers, period.
All right.
Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this week's album by The Baby, which is called Blame It On Baby, the Deluxe Edition. Now, for me, I was a little interested because he's actually put out now a total of 4 albums in the last, technically, I guess you can say the last 2 years. And this album, it was interesting when he released it. It was like a surprise. And I remember he posted on Instagram that, don't tell the record label, I want to put out these 10 songs as an independent project. But for whatever reason, he chose to do it as a deluxe edition to his last album, Blame It On Baby. So we're going to talk about some of our favorite tracks. We're going to get into some things and talk about the rest of the album and some of the missteps. But let's go ahead and get started. Zay, what you got to say?
I don't know what it is about these last few reviews that we've done, but the intros have been my favorite.
Yeah.
Billboard Baby, the way it just comes in, it's a dope intro. It's kind of hard to even mention it. I didn't really want to mention it as one of my top 3 songs, but it is. I like the way it rides. I love the feel of it coming in. And I guess I can kind of tie it in with some of the singles like Rockstar and songs like that I love. So.
Yeah, Billboard Baby, I love that that he was very just current in what he was talking about, and I feel like he's feeling himself, and I love to see it. You know what I mean? I feel like anytime you have rappers that are very bold and abrasive and say what they mean what they say. He's, currently one of the reigning Billboard champions, if you will. I think he's talking his stuff and he's able to own it, and you can't really say too much about it because he's living what he's really talking about, and I think that's what we see with Billboard Baby. I think it was an incredible opening to the Deluxe album.
Was it one of your favorites, or you got?
It wasn't. My favorite song on there was "Blind" featuring Young Thug, which is surprising to me because I'm on the fence sometimes with Young Thug. I know you love Young Thug and all of his sing-rappy things that he does with Meet Me at the London and stuff. But
Meet Me at the London.
I'm so sick of this song. But anyway, "Blind" just reminded me of a I don't know if flow wise and his vocal didn't really remind me of Nelly, but like that kind of country feeling, type of laid back, cruising summertime feel that he gave on the song, I loved and I immediately connected to, and that was a song that I kept going back to just because it just felt good. And I loved that song. I felt like it was the strongest on the deluxe portion of the album. I would even say some of the other songs. So.
Blind is actually one of my favorites as well.
Okay.
So I guess I'll go ahead and mention that. It's one of my top 3 that I'm gonna mention today. But it's the same feel. It kind of gave this. You say country, I say a little bit more rock. I love the guitar feel, and it kind of gave this rock feel to it. But it made sense. It flowed the way it flowed with the album, but I think it also flows well, obviously, when you're doing a song with my favorite,
Thug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just because he's known for doing all those kind of sing-songy, things in his songs, and it feels good to me. I love the song.
Yeah, and I think that it reminds me of like the songs like back in the day where it's like kind of like the We Gon' Make It, lyrically, we're talking like the We Gon' Make It, we gonna get out the hood someday. Like it just, I don't know, it's just like they let me in with, no ID. Like it's just, I don't know, it's very championing.
Yeah.
Which is another one of my favorites. Didn't make my top 3, but one of my favorite songs on the album is
I like
Champion.
It was a chill, like I could be at home, sitting on the couch, just vibing out to it. So
yeah. Okay, let's go into my next favorite, which was actually TLC.
Of course.
I love, and I mentioned this in one of our other episodes, I love when rappers have like this play on words and the whole, I'm gonna have this bitch blow my house up like Left Eye and, mentioning TLC. I love when rappers are able to be creative in that way. And I don't know, that song just flow wise, I think he stepped out of the box and it was just an amazing song for me. I love the TLC record.
So Peephole is my 3rd favorite. I like the song. I like the video was okay. It felt kind of like
quarantine-ish.
Well, it felt like he was shooting his. Did you see the orange backdrop and how it just felt like he was shooting his album cover, and then he was like, "Let's just go ahead and do a video to Peephole real quick while we're here."
Yeah, I think
this chair over here looked dope, and I want to sit in that, and then this looked like a peephole, a little what's it called? The kaleidoscope looking.
Kaleidoscope dreams. But I think he used our studio.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Let's show the studio. Let's show. Zoom out real quick. This is what the video was giving y'all.
Yeah.
Is you zooming out?
All the way. The whole studio.
Baby, I don't wanna dance no more. I was down to the people and then
Stay light.
But yeah, either way, I still love the song though. I think the song is dope.
Yeah.
I love how he's talking about he got all these little breezes coming through.
Bulls coming through the people.
And he got these 15 beds. They ain't sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
And he getting it in.
Yeah.
And you could probably say he a
I
real
believe
folk.
him. I believe him. Like I really do. Like I feel like everything that he's talking about on the record, on the album, I feel like he's really about that life. Like I don't.
Or has been through it.
Or has been through it.
Yeah.
Oh no, he is dating somebody.
Yeah.
But
I thought he was dating no girl.
I think
From
so.
The girl, baby girl.
No.
He not with her no more?
No, I just seen on the he's with somebody else.
I can't keep up with these people.
But even with that, I feel like he's still probably running game on her. Like I feel like he's Billboard baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me go ahead and get into my last favorite song, which is actually Trouble. And not vocally or anything like that, but I just love the storytelling of that song. I feel like it reminds me of old school Contagious, Trapped in a Closet, where he's like talking about, how the dude hurt the girl. Basically in the song, if you haven't heard it, the girl has a boyfriend and Baby is like coming in and putting down that Pisnai. And, the guy comes home, he sees it on the camera and whatever. He comes home and they have this whole
situation.
This whole situation about what's going on. And I just think that the song is so clever and so just brilliantly done. And I love even some of the vocal things that he does to make the other character stand out. I think on one of the one of the parts he said, he was like, man, she never did that with me. But he made it like comical, and it almost made it seem like that was a character versus the baby versus the girl. So I thought it was a brilliantly done track.
I wouldn't say brilliant, but it was cool.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, I mean, I've heard other songs, like cheating type songs, that I felt were done a lot better. More so probably on the R&B side.
Yeah.
But just for...
But as a rapper to do that, no?
Yeah, I mean...
No? Okay. Well, it's one of my favorites.
I listened to it, and I get it, but I was just still kind of like... But no, that's brilliant. I just didn't think brilliant was the best word to describe it, but... You know, it's all good. We can...
What word was you use? What word was you use?
Okay. I wouldn't even use the word. I'll give 2 letters. O and K. Okay.
Mine. All right.
It was okay.
All right. Well, did you give your 3?
Yeah, I gave my 3.
All right. Well, did you think there were any downfalls as far as full songs? I honestly...
That one. It was okay.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was just, you know.
Corny joke time. All right. Can I get mine?
Oh, you got some bad ones that you didn't like?
No, that was a corny joke. I was going to say, can I tell my joke?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I don't have one. All right, so I thought that the album, as far as songs, I'm gonna be very honest. No songs really, in my opinion, could I have done without. I feel like all of them kind of rode the roller coaster, if you will.
Yeah.
There weren't any standout bad tracks where I felt like lyrically he was not giving what he normally gives, or production wise he wasn't. You know, the producers weren't giving, in my opinion, great quality tracks. I just felt that, in my opinion, it was very long. I felt like he could have went without some of the original songs that were on the original album to give it more of a cohesive sounding album.
They had to still make sure that the label got their money.
Yeah, I guess.
From the whatever, so I mean...
I guess. I mean, I see it. Like
I'm
I said,
assuming that's probably what it was.
Yeah, I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad at any of the songs, but I just felt like after I'd already heard the first album, I fell in love with some of those songs. I was like, okay. So, and the new songs, I think it was 9 new songs. In my opinion, they all stood out. Like, they were all strong enough to carry this deluxe album. 9 or 10, I can't remember. But they were strong enough to carry the album.
Yeah.
And I felt like some of the original songs could have come out. I was glad, honorable mention, that Nasty was still on there with Meg and Ashanti. I felt like that was an incredible addition with Ashanti, who's not my favorite singer by any means, but that record is so classic that it's just, you know, an amazing feature. And then she came on talking her shit at the end of the record.
I like how they repurposed the record for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's totally, it was just smart to bring that together.
Absolutely.
His name's the baby. And you, baby. Is that what you know?
Yeah, but I didn't realize it. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you didn't realize that?
No.
That's what I was thinking about. Baby.
But I didn't equate that with that being his name. I don't know why.
He didn't listen to the album, y'all. Or the song. Okay, so let's move right along.
Corny joke time number 2. That was a good one. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about, did you have anything else to say about
No, I think we're good.
All right, well, let's go ahead and give the baby his grade for Blame It On Baby. Start with the vocal.
So for vocals, you want to start?
I'll go ahead and start. I gave him a 4. I felt like I think his voice is very commanding. I feel like with the tracks that he gave us, I feel like there wasn't anything where he was sure. I mentioned earlier, he's very cocky and very kind of abrasive in some of the things that he says, but he means it, and he means it from the bottom of his heart. Like, I'm Billboard baby, and there's nobody else that's gonna top me right now. And so I just believe him, and I think that's one of the biggest things with being a rapper outside of lyric that you can be, is believable. And I believed him. He delivered for me.
So you only gave him a 4?
I gave him a 4 because I didn't think it was perfect. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say he's like Jay-Z or somebody.
I wouldn't say that he's like a Jay-Z. I'm gonna just go ahead and say I gave him a 5. But the reason I gave him a 5 is because the way his voice does command the audience. The way he's hot, because he's hot, but he's not a Jay-Z hot. He's hot in a hood hot. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's a different type of, when you think about what he's doing for his community and his people and the people who understand him, that sound is hot for what it is, and it's still a refreshing sound. Do you have anybody in mind that you can say the baby sounds like?
Right now, out of today's?
Just period. Like, who does he remind you of when you hear his voice?
That's a good question. Come back to me with that one.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, it's like, that's what I like, is that it's something refreshing. It's something different. It doesn't sound like everybody else. The flow is mixed up just a little bit. It's just not your usual thing. He still gives he still is snapping up top, but then he'll come back down and drop down and give you something with a little, sarcasm or funny or whatever to it. So I like his flow. I like his vocals. I think they're dope.
Yeah,
that's why I gave him a 5.
All right. Well, we differ there just a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about his lyrical content.
Go ahead.
Well, for me, I feel like lyrically he's, again, I mean, I mentioned this with Pop Smoke. I'm grading as a fan of hip hop, and although he is nowhere near, I guess, the perfect lyricist, I rated him as a 4, just because I feel like there's always room to grow. I feel like the baby has, again, I kind of keep saying the same thing, but I feel like everything that he writes and he pens, he believes. And I feel like there were some moments where he definitely played up the play on words, and a lot of, I'm always on the charts like Drizzy, and all of that kind of stuff really is the makings of an incredible rapper. And I think there was another song, don't quote me on the lyric, but where he says, if I would have gave you guys different flows, y'all wouldn't know what to do with it, basically. And I believe that as well. And so I'm looking forward to what he can bring as a rapper in the near future. I feel like he's definitely got the makings of a great lyricist.
Yeah, I'll kind of agree with you. I give him a 4 as well. I think I struggle some with it feeling somewhat redundant. With what he's talking about, it's just the same thing about me. I do this, I do that, and I'll do this, and I'll do that, and it's like, okay, you now are in a whole new world. You're making a whole bunch of money. Like, give us some of your new experiences in something that's just not typical of a hood rapper who made it. So it sounds kind of redundant from a lot of other rappers who, come from the hood, and you're from a different hood, but it's still the same thing, and it's like, it just feels like it's been done. The difference is that the flow and his vocals are dope, so that's what makes it feel good. But lyrically, I mean, it's not like he's assassinating it. He's just
he's definitely
like, okay,
he's definitely got some room to grow.
Yeah,
definitely. And I feel like
that's where I'm at.
Room to grow. So 4 is for lyrics. Let's get into the production. I thought musically everything on here, well, pretty much everything on here made me want to move. Everything was like turn, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Love like what. So production wise, I give him a 4.
I gave him a 4 for production also. And I felt the same way. Everything was but we definitely just talked about how Blind, the track Blind was not and it was back in the cut, and we was sitting back with our leg up and, just kind of chilling and cruising. So
yeah.
But it was production wise, everything sounds good. I gave a 4 more so because I just don't think, like, I hear other rappers who do more play. Like, I'm big on listening from left to right, and hearing. I think the production is good. His vocals are definitely in my face. The track isn't overpowering him or anything, but there just could have been a little bit more play with some of the instrumentation and different things going from left to right, and giving that feel of, okay, wow, like there was thought and things on how this was panned and how this transitioned over and things like that. I didn't really hear a lot of that, but that's kind of why I'm putting it at a 4.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the sonic flow.
Oh, Jesus.
The sonic flow for me, I gave him a 3.75, but I would say pretty much the only reason is because I felt like he should have used, he should have taken some of the songs. What is happening?
What the fuck is a 3.75?
It's the rumbling in the back for me.
Yo.
Alright, I gave him a 3.75 for the sonic flow because I feel like I mentioned earlier, he could have taken some of the songs from the original album out to make it feel like a more cohesive album. I feel like it was very, very long.
Do you do that with the deluxe album though? Has anyone ever taken songs out? Does that make sense?
Well, no, but at the same time, nobody has ever added 10 songs to it.
That's a lot. Album. Yeah.
So I feel like,
but at least he gave you more than what
most people would do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Beyonce.
He gave you more than what Beyonce gave.
He definitely gave me more than Beyonce gave with that
Yes, sir.
one song.
Fix it from us.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, totally.
All right,
We love you, Beyonce.
Sonic Flow for me was definitely 4. A little bit more than, that 3.75. We're pushing up, over the
Up
threshold
yonder.
just a little bit
Yeah.
to the 4. I think the flow is good, but the flow is the baby flow. And that's where I think it just, it just fell just a tiny bit short for me because it again kind of feels redundant. And I know he's in there talking about how if I switched it up, well, switch it up because you should have switched it up with these 10 songs.
But maybe he's again. We just
Well, he
don't-
kind of switched it up with Blind. I do like.
Yeah, Blind was great job on Blind.
Yeah.
Man. Like that's an amazing song.
But yeah.
All right,
that's my
well,
thoughts.
let's go ahead and give the baby his official.
It's a little tidget.
Right.
All right, so let's get into the scoring.
Yes.
So with the scores that we gave the baby, it's landing him at an average of 4.09, which actually ends up being an 81.8%, which gives him what?
Drum roll, please. A B minus.
B minus.
B baby minus. Duh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, B minus, the baby. It all works together.
All right,
Man.
so B minus, the baby. I think that's a great grade for this album.
Yeah, we just look forward to bigger and better things.
I honestly want to say that I feel like the fact that it's a deluxe album potentially has something to do with why that score is the way, or why that grade is the way it is, because again, some of it's we've already heard, and it's kind of, I really didn't want to make some of my favorites may not be the ones that I've mentioned today necessarily, but I didn't want to put the focus on them. I wanted to focus on some of the newer ones that came in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's why it kind of landed where it is, and I'm okay with it. I'm happy about it.
good
getting a
with
B minus. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, this is the close of the show. We want to make sure.
Mention one thing about the baby. He's a Capricorn, just in case y'all didn't know.
We definitely didn't care. All right.
And his birthday's the same day as mine. December 22nd.
All right. With that being
It's the
said,
interruptions on this show for me.
It's the unprofessional.
It's the tackiness in the background. It's the unwelcome guests. We didn't even ask you to come record, man. Why are you behind the camera?
Don't do me.
We could have did this shit on our own.
You never.
on my own. Why did it in this way?
You could never.
All right.
All right. With that being said, this is the close of the show. We want to invite you guys to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you share this content with your friends, family, and everybody you know. My name is Camarray.
And I'm Zaiah.
And we'll talk to y'all later.